another episode of Life Lessons. And today we're going to talk about a few things. My partner, Maya Papaya, my homie that I play the game with, she hit me with some few questions today. And she told me to touch on them and talk about them. So that's what we're going to do. So first we're going to talk about AAU basketball and what I think about it, whether it's good or bad for the youth now. Then we're going to talk about the NIL deal and what I think about that. And then last, I'm going to switch up this question a little bit because I would like to talk about it from a overall aspect and not just an athlete aspect. But we're going to talk about social media and how it's ruining people. So let's get into it, man. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. First, we're going to touch on AAU and the effects and my thoughts. AAU, man, I think it has become something totally different than what it was. And I think that, honestly, my generation and me coming up in the AAU was the start of it, where you started to see all these giant names just teaming up with one another, just running through people, running through teams, not competing against each other no more. And you really start to see like AAU start taking a different route than what it used to be. Like hearing all the old heads, like even when on Gil's Arena and they podcast, when they talked about how AAU was, how you had to get invited to them camps. And you really didn't know who a person was until y'all went head up or until y'all AAU teams met. I believe that my generation was a generation where they just started like going to go recruit kids no matter what, where you got a kid that live in Chicago, you got a tournament in damn Florida. He ain't never practiced with the team. This kid ain't never seen the team. He just show up and he playing, starting. And this kid right here then came to every practice, then did everything, and then he get to the game and he got to get his jersey to the kid that came from Chicago. I think that my generation was a generation of kids that started that in AAU. And I think that we are the ones who started the shift. In my personal opinion, I think it started a bad shift because I remember going to AAU games and sometimes before it happened, you would see like some of them 5-star, them 4-stars competing, they AAU teams competing against each other. But then it quickly, like slowly, like started to form like into something that you like, man, like ain't nobody gonna win this tournament because they all on the same team. Like, and yeah, you going against them and yeah, you competing against them and you trying to get off, but still it's like you go in the gym, that whole side of the gym packed, but then you look at the score and the score is damn near like 100 something to 40. Like, like ain't no excitement in that. Like the coaches done walked out already because they done seen the 5-stars that they recruiting do all this magical shit. And then you got this other kid over here. He trying his hardest, but that coach ain't interested in him. Like, yeah, he probably done went off. Yeah, he might have gotten an offer, but it ain't the offer that these 5 and 4 stars getting. It's probably at a low major, mid major. And you have one kid that do slip in the cracks and catches the eye of the coach. But I believe that my generation started that because I remember going to tournaments and you see Bam on one team. You got Bam, Dennis Smith. When Quay Parker was popping, him, like all the big names from where I'm from, all on one team. And that it's just like, damn, like I never forget. We had one tournament. I can't remember where we were, but we walk in the gym. Can't no one get in the gym, and everybody's wondering why. And it's literally that whole squad stacked on one team, and they going against the Thon Maker brothers. And like, and it was nice because the other team had Thon Maker in them on the team, but they was getting whooped. Like they torching them. Like, so I think we started that, and I believe that AAU has become detrimental, in my opinion, to the sport of basketball because if you look at some of them AAU games and you go to some of them AAU games, ain't nobody really competing no more. Like, You just trying to both. It's almost damn near like the NBA damn celebrity game, All-Star game, where everybody just out there having fun, kicking it, and then at the last minute, how it used to be, you try to lock in, or when you know the game is over, everybody get into their trick shit. Like you see a bunch of kids going between the legs, throwing a ball off the damn backboard. Like you see kids purposely letting kids go by them to go get a dunk, purposely letting them go by them to get a layup. It's just like it done took the fun out the game. And quite frankly, I believe AAU need to go back to how it used to be, where like in order for you to get on a certain team, like you had to be nice, like, or they had to come recruit you, like they had to like you was that nice that they had to come get you. You can't like it wasn't no you just show up and you just pay a certain amount of money and you on the team. Like nah, like in order for you to be on that Nike, that EYBL team, that Adidas team, like all of that, like you had to be like legit. And like I think my generation and when we started coming up, we ruined that because we started seeing so many people team together, and it damn near, to me, in my opinion, it ruined AAU ball because none of them kids really compete no more. Like I said, man, you see all the highlights, man. Ain't no defense being played out there. Like, yes, these kids are a little bit more advanced. They're a little bit more skilled. But when you see a clip and you see a kid hit somebody with one of the simplest moves and then the kid just get out of his way, or he coming down the lane and ain't nobody stopping the ball and just letting him go in and go dunk because they understand and they know that's what the crowd want. That's what the crowd gonna get hype off of. It's like, man, AAU ain't right no more. Like AAU lost its mystique. Like I wouldn't put my kid in AAU if he wasn't ready. And I think that's the problem. Like there are so many teams and so many people can create AAU teams now that you just have coaches out here just doing it for the money. Like they just doing it to collect that money from the parents. Like, cause you have some coaches and you have some people that create a team and like the upcharge to even just get your kid on that team, not even knowing if your kid gonna play or not, be outrageous. And I think that's the reason why AAU is bad now, because like anyone can create a team. Like I could go out there right now and if I wanted to and had the right money, like I could legit like create me an AAU team and go compete in these tournaments. But I'd be like getting one over on the parents and on the kids, man. And I just believe that all kids shouldn't be in AAU. Like if your kid ain't developed, if your kid still need to work on certain things, if your kid still need to grind and get his or her game together, I wouldn't put my kid in AAU, because my kid would just be the kid sitting on the end of the bench not getting no burn, rightfully so, because you're not good. Like, and I think that's the problem. And I think that's why AAU has become so bad, because some of these people have been creating these AAU teams because they kid is the kid on the team that ain't good. Like, it ain't good. So it's like, well, fuck it. I'll send my kid over here with this AAU team and at least he'll get some burn. But your kid ain't getting no better because he or she is not in the gym working on their craft. Like, I wouldn't, me personally, if I had a child, I wouldn't put my child in AAU until I knew they were legit ready. Like, and I'm not saying like ready to the point where they got to go out there and drop 50, 40, 30 in that AAU game, but they at least have developed some skill in their game to where when you see them step on the court, they ain't out there looking like Bambi. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem with AAU. AAU, in my opinion, has lost its way. Like, it's cool to watch, but seeing what it has become from where it used to be, like, it's lost its way, in my opinion. And, like, of course, I understand that things evolve and things grow, but I think it evolved too much in a whole different direction where it's not even basketball no more. That shit's like a circus out there. So you just, like I said, man, it damn near look like them YouTube videos when them dudes be going one-on-one against each other. So it's like, those are my thoughts about AAU. So like, I just think it's lost its way, and like for the bad, for not for the, it didn't get to me. It didn't get better. It got worse, and I think that my generation was the cause of that. Coming up in AAU and how like we started to see the shift in it, and it stopped it stopped gaining its value of what it actually was, because that was the first time I actually seen a powerhouse AAU team, is when I seen Bam and all them boys all on the same team. And that was like, we gonna compete, but bro, we can't beat these dudes, man. Like, ain't everybody in the gym know, like, that's a powerhouse. And then on top of that, you gotta think, this powerhouse, they coming in, and yeah, we playing against them, but these referees, they know they're a powerhouse. So, man, you already know how it's going to go. The referees want to see these boys do some stuff, and we want to do some stuff, and we trying to compete, but it's just like, hey, man, yeah, some kids on our team that's nice as them, but that stacked ass team versus these teams, man, is ain't no way that could have been fun for Bam and them. And maybe it was, man, but to me, that took the lack of competitiveness out their own game. Like, my personal opinion, if I'm a 5-star, I'm gonna want to play against y'all niggas to see how nice y'all really are. Like, cause you might think you nice, or it can be said you nice, but are you really nice? Like, I can call you nice because of what I'm seeing you do on my team, but let me see you do that against me. Like, that's my opinion. And like, I'm pretty sure, competing wise, I'm pretty sure at some point they thought the same thing. I would hope. Like, bro, we on the same team, bro. We blowing these teams out by 30, 40. This can't be fun. Unless they thought process was being young and being a teenager, man. Let's get this shit over with so we can go have some fun. Because we is technically on vacation. And I mean, maybe that was they thought process, but I don't know, man. But I definitely think the AAU has took a turn, and it ain't fun no more. Like, it ain't fun watching no more. Like, seeing all the antics and seeing all the other stuff, it don't do nothing for me. But now we finna talk about the my thoughts on the NIL deal. And I'm just be honest. If anyone who knows sports, whether it's football, basketball, anything, everyone already knew that the NIL thing was coming. Everyone already knew that. Like, it don't matter what your thoughts is on it. It was a long time coming for college athletes to start getting paid. Because in my personal opinion, the idea of you going to school for free is just dumb. It's stupid. All the money that football, especially football, and some of them schools, all the money that they bring in, all the revenue that they bring in, you telling me that they can't get a little piece of the pie while y'all get to feed off them and eat off them? That's stupid, man. And I knew it was coming because it was already here. It was just hidden. Like, anybody who ever know, if you've ever been on a college team or a collegiate team and you see one of your teammates get an envelope from one of the old heads in the stands, what do you think is in that damn envelope? Because it damn sure ain't no drawings. It ain't no tickets. Man, what you think is in that envelope? After the game, you standing out there waiting on the alumni and stuff to pass by and shake their hand, and you see one of your teammates get a white envelope. Come on, man. Like, what's in that envelope? Those who know, you know what's in that envelope. I done got an envelope before. Like, come on, man. You know what's in the envelope. It damn sure ain't no drawings, like I said. All right, so it's been happening. It's just a matter of time where the NCAA should have been start letting athletes get paid, man. Like, because come on, man. We generate so much money for you. Why wouldn't you let us get paid, man? And like, all the people that like to get mad and say like, oh, you getting a free scholarship and all that, but you don't know how hard it is to be an athlete in college. Like, all the things that you gotta do, all the, like, bro, like, man, I ain't trying to hear nothing that nobody talking about. It is hard. Like, you literally, it's a grind, man. Like, can you imagine? Like, bro, like, especially some of them schools who ain't lenient on athletes and you still gotta do all that stuff. So imagine you got preseason conditioning. So that means you gotta wake up around 4 in the morning to make sure that you at least get a little something on your stomach because you know you finna go out there and run. You got to be at the track by 4:30, 5 o'clock. You either got the mile or you got conditioning on the field. And you out there for a good hour. And before you go out there, you in the weight room either stretching or you lifting. So that's already, the day ain't even really started. That's just your day as an athlete. You got conditioning. Then, after conditioning, you got mandatory breakfast. So hopefully you can get to your room and shower before breakfast. But if not, you just got to go there sweaty and stinking. So then you got breakfast. After you got breakfast, you got class. And you can't go back to your room and go to sleep. Why? Because some of them coaches, their job is to go around and make sure you are in your class. So best believe, if they peek their head in there and you ain't in that class, now you got a text message saying either you got to run or the whole team has to run. So you got that. Now, those who don't have class, now you got a workout session with either the assistant coach, the head coach, or you got a weightlifting session again with whoever your trainer is. So now you got that. Then you got to go to your other class. Now, the ones who was already in class, when they get out, now they got their weightlifting session or their training session. Now, if we still in preseason and if the coach has done it right and has got his hours right, he can put it to where he knows no one has class around this time. So now we got a mini practice, what people like to call 2-a-days or 3-a-days, where you practicing. So now you got to practice. We ain't even in the middle of the day yet. It's still morning time. So now you got practice. After practice, you got to go right back to class. Some people got to go right back to class. Of course, you have your older teammates that's probably like seniors and stuff that might get the rest. But if they really about their craft, they not resting. They in the gym putting up shots or getting treatment. So after that practice session, you have another weightlifting session. After that weightlifting session, you probably can go get you some lunch or something, and you probably on the back end of your classes, if that. Because sometimes, if you come in as a freshman, you might have a class that lasts about 3 hours long. So you might be sitting in class. You ain't took a nap. You still sleepy. You had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you done all this before 12 noon. Or it's just now reaching 12 noon or 1 p.m. And that ain't even the end of it. Because after you get out of class, where you think everybody going now? Back to practice. So now you got you another practice that's like literally, I give it around, sometimes you can practice earlier, sometimes you can practice later in the day, depending on how the coach feeling. But you might practice around 3, you might practice around 6, 7. That way he can keep the gym for however long he wanted. The girls probably done got off. Ain't nobody in there, it's just you. But if you practicing at 3, you got a 3 o'clock practice. So you practicing at 3, that's gonna last about 2.5 hours. Because if he don't like what he see, you're gonna be in there doing stuff. After practice over, you doing all that running, and then after that, you probably in there watching film. By the time you look up, it's 6, 7 o'clock at night. And if the team is up for it, you either scrimmaging or y'all running games. So by the time you get done with your day as an athlete, by the time you take your shower and can either hopefully the dining hall is still open. Because if it's not, you ain't got no dinner. Or you got to use your meal point somewhere else because the dining hall done closed. So by the time you really get done doing what you're doing and you get to just lay down and be like, whoo, boy, it's probably about 8 or 9 o'clock. Just for your ass to turn around and wake back up at 4 in the morning. So miss me with all that. You getting paid to go to school and all that. No, bro. Like, yeah, we get it. Athletes get it. Yeah, thank you for giving us the free education and all. But bro, like, it's about time y'all start giving us some money too on our name. All that money we bring in for y'all, yeah, cut us a piece of that pie. Cut us a piece of that pie. It's just about time, man. Everybody already knew it, man. Like, so like, the NIL is a great thing for athletes, and it up the ante for coaches. You can't be a dickhead coach no more. Like, you can't. Like my personal opinion, all them coaches that is upset and that got mad about the NIL, what is really your issue? That's the question I have for them. What is really your issue with the NIL deal? Because you sit there and you try to say, oh, kids are leaving. They ain't got no loyalty. You ain't got no loyalty either. And that's a problem that I have with some of them coaches that came out and really try to down the NIL deal and athletes getting paid. You ain't got no loyalty to the school or to your players either. Because let's be honest, a head coach can literally sign a deal for however much money he getting paid. He can get his team to a point where they did so good, he can break that deal the following season if a school want him and offer him more money, and he'll take it and leave. So what's the problem? You coaches do it all the time. Y'all literally do it all the time. Where you will come out in the press conference and say you ain't going nowhere. You this, you that. You for the school. You for your players. You would never leave your players. And then you get $1 million deal at this net school, and you pack up and go. But now you got a problem if an athlete do it. And you trying to say the athlete ain't got no loyalty to the team, the athlete ain't got no loyalty to the school. Like, where was yours at? Because you dipped the first chance you got. And it ain't like you took any players with you. And if you do take some players with you, it's very few. 2, maybe 3 max. But you ain't taking the whole damn team with you. Like, coaches get on my nerves with that, man. I think coaches is just jealous at the fact that athletes is getting paid now and they can't use nothing over their head. And I enjoy it. I enjoy it. That portal, man, that portal is jumping. And them coaches that is trying not to jump on that portal because they don't like the idea of the portal, they going to be the ones that fall behind and fall in the back burner. And they going to be the ones that end up getting fired because they too stuck in their ways. Like the Tennessee coach. He need to hop on board because if he don't hop on board, he going to be next on the chopping block. Because like, bro, like you don't have to like the idea of the NIL deal. But dude, why wouldn't you want your players to get paid? Why wouldn't you want your players to be in the best possible position that they can be in? Because especially if they plan on going to the NFL, going to the NBA, going somewhere overseas, anywhere, they're going to eventually end up getting paid anyway. So why wouldn't you want them working on that kind of stuff now so they can learn how to finance themselves, so they can learn their finances better, so they can learn what and what not to do with their money when they get it? Like, to me, that's just a control thing that I personally believe that coaches have within themselves, where it's just like, you ain't got the control no more like you thought you had it. And it bothers you now because you damn near on the same playing field with your player as far as money. When your player wasn't getting no money, you had all this control, you had all this power. But now you on the same playing field with him, and he can make decisions and choices for himself now that before he couldn't. Ain't nothing you can do. And quite frankly, I believe that's kind of why Alabama coach Nick Saban got out. Because, yeah, you don't like the idea of it, but everybody know, man, y'all is getting paid at Alabama, man. Y'all paying them boys under the table. Ain't no way in hell all them boys got them fancy cars like that and y'all wasn't paying them under the table. Like, come on, man. You should have been happy and excited that they was getting paid. But you come out saying the stuff that you said, it was just weird to me. Like, it was long overdue. And any coach that's mad about an athlete getting paid for something that they should be getting paid for, but like, it's like, bro, you sound envious and you sound jealous of nothing. Like, you shouldn't be the only one getting paid here, because if we've been quite honest and completely honest, it's like, yeah, you got the coaching scheme, but you just the coach. Like, and don't get me wrong, coaches are very important, especially in college, because the right coach can give you that right structure and right leadership. But at the end of the day, we are the ones going out there competing, putting everything on the line. Without our talent and without our skill set and without everything else that we do out there, you wouldn't be able to do nothing. Your resume wouldn't look like how it looks. So just as much as we need you, dog, you need us as well. So I think the NIL deal is great. I think it's only going to get better from here now. I think it's only going to go up from here. The only downfall I would say that the NIL deal has is there can be some kids who lose sight of where they want to actually become and where they want to go because of the NIL deal. Like, if a kid is getting all this stuff it can potentially make a kid who maybe can go to the league if they work. It could potentially put them in a headspace of, well, shit, I'm getting all this money now. Like, it can make them lose sight of their end goal, which is get to the league. That's what I'm trying to say. It can make them lose sight of the end goal, which is, I'm trying to get to the league. I still need to get to the league. And yes, this money is great, but I still need to work. They can see all this money coming in. They can see all these gifts and all this other stuff coming in. They can kind of get a little lackadaisical and a little lazy and be like, I'm comfortable. And that's the last thing you want to be when you playing college ball is comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. Get used to uncomfortable. Always be uncomfortable because that's going to make you want to keep going. It's going to make you want to keep pushing. The minute you become comfortable and lax, like, that's when you, in my opinion, that's when you fucked up as a college player because you lost sight of your end goal. I think that's the only downfall of the NIL deal with kids who can't manage it or they don't have the proper management behind them to where they're like, okay, boom, we gonna set you up in a program so you don't lose sight of what it is you're trying to do, or we're gonna set you up with a program so you don't lose sight of your end goal. Like me personally, if I was a coach and I was running a team and I had players getting NIL deals and getting money, like, I'm never gonna tell you how to spend your money. I'm never gonna tell you what to do with your money. What I am gonna do though is I'm gonna sit you down with someone who can teach you how to handle your finances and how to make sure that by the time you graduate here or by the time you leave here and get ready to go to the league, you are set. Like, you don't have to worry about nothing because you done talked. You done talked with somebody. Y'all done sat down. Y'all done went over everything. Y'all done talked about everything. You are in a better place, ready for the world when you leave here. That's what I would do as a coach. Like, I would have all my players sit down with someone and teach them how to, like, manage this. Like, you want to get that car? Okay, cool. But before we get that car, let's talk about this first. And then let's break it down to the point where off rip, like, damn, I really don't need that because I ain't gonna be driving it no way. Like, or it's just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, I would like for my players to, like, I'm not saying be well off, but by the time they leave me, by the time they leave this institution, like, they don't get to the league and then they either bankrupt or they done blew through their money because no one ever taught them, like, anything. No one ever taught them where to invest. No one ever taught them where to put their money. No one ever taught them how to, like, sit on their money or, like, let it build on its own. Like, I would put my players in some type of program that teaches them all that stuff. That way, like, when they are gone and when they are out of my hands, like, I know for a fact that my players and my previous players well taken care of. Like, they got their shit together. But outside of that, man, the NIL deal is great. It's great. Every athlete should get paid. I don't give a damn what type of athlete you is, amateur, it don't matter. Like, if you are playing a sport for people's entertainment and you out there grinding and busting your ass and sacrificing and making the sacrifices, you should get some type of endorsement. You should get some type of income. Like, and the NIL, to me, the NIL does great and it ain't going nowhere. The only way it goes somewhere is literally as if the NCAA decide to backslide somehow, but it's too late now. You didn't open up that door, and nah, because I think it could hurt the NCAA if they try to backslide and close it, and now all these kids know that they can go other places. The only thing that it probably wouldn't hurt is football, but basketball, it for damn sure would hurt. Let the NCAA backslide and try to say that athletes can't get paid no more. You know the different damn areas kids can go now. You can go overseas and hoop straight out of college, like Brandon Jennings did. You can damn go to them G League teams straight out of college. You can go to, it's so many leagues now that kids can go to where they don't need college no more to hoop. Like, they don't. All you gotta do is go somewhere for a year or two, and then if you still doing what you're doing, you locked in for sure. So I think that would hurt the NCAA from a basketball standpoint. The only way it wouldn't hurt is the kids that ain't like that. That's in them lower levels and they need to go to college. Or them kids that's like ain't top of the top. But even them kids, I think that if they had the right confidence, they probably would be like in their mind too, like, well, no, like if I can go get paid before I go to college, I'm at least try to go try out for this team first. And if I don't make the team, yeah, I go to college. But I'm gonna go try out for this team first. But man, NIL ain't going nowhere. I think it's great. In fact, I think it's perfect for damn kids now. And the coaches who don't rock with it and the coaches who don't like it, it'll be, I give it a few years before y'all not coaching no more either, because y'all don't know how to get on board. Just like y'all try to tell athletes to get on board, it's time for y'all to get on board now. So it is what it is. But next, we're going to talk about social media and how it's ruining folks. And the original question was, well, the original thing was athletes and social media. But I don't want to just talk about athletes, because I believe that social media, man, is ruining everybody. I think it's putting a bad light and a false light on everybody, where everybody is just losing sight of just everything. I believe we have come to a point now where no one likes the idea of the moment, like just enjoying the moment. Like, and what I mean by that is, like, say you going out with someone and it's just you two, and y'all go to this nice place. The scenery is beautiful. Like, it's everything that like y'all could like ask for. One person out of that group won't really enjoy it like they should, because the minute they get there, they're going to pull their phone out, go to Instagram, go to TikTok, go to Facebook or whatever. And instead of enjoying the moment, they're going to hit record on their phone and be like this the entire time. And you're not enjoying the moment, really. You're not literally living in that moment. You're not really living in that moment in real time, enjoying what you're seeing. You're living in that moment for other people to see. And I've never understood that, which is why I get a lot of flack, and I get in trouble sometimes by my mom when I was overseas, and she would ask, like, why you ain't take no pictures? Like, you got to take more pictures. And it's like, I forget to take pictures when I'm going to see places, because I don't care to take no pictures to show anybody. I don't care to post it to show anybody. Like, I'm there in real time enjoying what I'm seeing. And I think social media ruined that. I think social media is ruining that. And it's killing, to me, it's killing our folk. It's killing our people, because now you just got so many people that's so social media driven. Like, everything is for the gram. Everything is for TikTok. Like, you get a plate of food, you can't eat it before they post it on their Instagram and post it on their TikTok. And if you do start to eat some of your food, they get mad at you because they didn't get to take the picture. Man, forget all that. Like, that's why if I go anywhere, man, my phone ain't out. If it is out, it's because I done got an important message, or we both mutually agreed that I'm either paying attention to some game or they doing something on their phone. But bro, I'm enjoying the moment, man. And I personally believe social media is just, it's giving people the wrong idea of what people actually are and what people actually do and how important people are and how important we are to each other. Like, you see so many people trying to live up to celebrity status, and it's like, what? Like, I don't understand that, man, and I don't get it. Like, me personally, I believe these celebrities that's saying what they say don't even believe half the stuff that they say. But you have the average person that's looking at the celebrity and they like, man, like, well, if they think like that, I'm gonna think like that. And then it put everybody in this weird box where everyone is competing or trying to compete or going against one another. And it's all because of social media, man. Get off social media at times. Am I on social media? Yes, to post my YouTube videos. But for the most part, man, I don't care about social media, man. I'm at the lake fishing in the crib chilling on the game. I'm doing what I want to do, man. But you got people who just, in my personal opinion, they don't live for the moment with who they're actually with. They live for that moment to post it and get validation from people who really could care less. And it's like, why are we like that, man? Like, it's weird to me, man. But as far as an athlete standpoint, I'll touch on it a little bit. It's great, but it's not great because you have some athletes who don't know under you have some athletes who don't understand how to watch what they say. Like, becoming an athlete, and once you hit that athlete status where you in college and you in the pros, like, yeah, if you in the pros, it's a little different. Like, you in the NBA, you can say what you want because you probably got the money to pay that fine. But college, you have some athletes who are so social media driven that they end up forgetting that you an athlete, dog. You under a microscope now, especially in college. So some of the things that you say, some of the things that you do, some of the things that you post on there, it's like, be careful, dog. Like, they watching you. Like, and if you think they not watching you, every college has a social media team. Like, true story. I remember I got hurt and I literally had to have a conversation with our social media team because they would post stuff and someone from my hometown would always comment and be like, y'all losing because y'all ain't got him in the game. Y'all need to put him in the game. Not knowing I was hurt. Now, granted, the person that was commenting, I ain't talked to this person in years. They just from the hometown. They see I'm in college. They see I'm doing pretty well. And they just commenting, being a good fan, I guess showing support for a hometown kid. The social media team at the college didn't know this. So they come to me and literally ask me like, hey, like, can you tell this person like that you're hurt or something? Because every time you post something, like they comment and we don't really like that. And I'm like, bro, I don't even like talk to this dude. Like, I don't got their social media. I don't got nothing. Like, I haven't talked to this dude. I haven't talked to this dude since I was a youngin'. So it's just like, they watch that type of stuff. And it's like, that conversation showed me like, yeah, y'all really do watch everything because this dude ain't talked to me in I don't know how long. Like, and the fact that y'all coming to me telling me to try to tell him to like, be quiet. Like, they watch that, man. I think some athletes lose sight of that and like they just think that they can post whatever because the times we in now. And it's like, nah, you still gotta watch what you say. Still gotta watch what you do. Like, so I think that to some degree, social media is great for athletes, but to some degree, it's ruining some athletes too. Because you got some careless athletes out there. Like the idea that like everybody try to act like they don't know athletes smoke. All athletes smoke. Well, I ain't gonna say all athletes. It's some athletes who are in college that follow the rules. But a lot of them collegiate athletes, they smoking. You have some that's careless, that they think they can't get in trouble, that they think they can do whatever, so they gonna post whatever. And then next thing you know, they suspended. Or next thing you know, they kicked off the team or they done had to transfer somewhere else because of stuff like that. And it's just like, man, we in weird times now, man, where things are changing, yes, but I don't think all the things that's changing is for the good. But as far as this social media thing, man, like, I personally wish social media had like a limit a day. And I think that it would make people better. I think it would make us snap back into reality and it would make us start liking each other more, living in the moment more, and just enjoying the moment more, man. Like, you see so many people like going on trips and it's like, did you really enjoy the trip? Because every time you looked up, you posted it on social media, you on your phone. So like, what did you actually learn when you was over there? And that's one thing that I've noticed about a lot of people. Like when they do go on those trips and they do post and they do all that posting and they doing all that live streaming and they doing all that going live for the internet and there's all that, it's like, what are you actually learning? Like, one of the biggest things that I like to ask people when they come home is, what did you learn when you was over there? Especially if they travel out the country. Did you go view some museums? Did you go see some historical facts? What did you do when you left? Like, and if the only response you got to me is we got drunk and we went to the resort and we went to a brunch, you just wasted money in my opinion, because you didn't do nothing. You literally traveled to a whole new country to do some shit that you could have did in your hometown. Went and got brunch and got drunk. That's so weird to me, man, because it's just like, you went to a whole new country. The thought of that just is weird to me. You went to a whole new country, didn't try none of the cultural foods. You didn't learn nothing about the history of the culture. You didn't go look at nothing historical. What was the point of going? Like, you spent all that money to just go do nothing? Like, I can't fathom that. Like, that's so weird to me. Like, if I'm going to go somewhere and spend some money to go somewhere, I'm going to at least try one of your famous dishes that's a part of this country. I'm going to at least learn at least one fact about this country that I don't know. I'm going to see something historical. Like, I don't know, man. And maybe that's just me, but I definitely think that social media has ruined us. And it is very detrimental to us. It's killing us, man, because you got everybody that's wanting to be at the top echelon. And it's like, everybody can't be at the top, man. Like, everybody's not at the top. Even some of them celebrities ain't at the top. Like, you can't convince me that all them celebrities that be trying to convince us average people to do certain stuff, like, they not happy either. Because if they was, they wouldn't be in all the beefs that they in. They wouldn't be all the failed relationships that they in. Like, so it's just like, man, they make it look good for the camera, and they trick us into thinking that it's good. And we fall into the trap and we believe it, and then we start moving how they should move, but we ain't really got the money that they got, but we want somebody else to give us the money. And it's just this big old, like, fucked up thing with social media. And it's just like, man, get off. Get off sometimes. It's okay to get off and just get back to reality and get back to how things was. But, man, to each his own, man, I guess, man. But I definitely do wonder sometimes, like, if social media was to crash, if the internet was to crash, and this is my big question. If the internet was to crash, right? So let's say for like a week where there's no social media, like, and what I mean by that is Instagram ain't working, Facebook ain't working, TikTok ain't working. Nothing is working. The only thing that's working, you can call, you can text, you can FaceTime. That's the only thing that's working. And YouTube, I'm gonna use YouTube. YouTube can work. You can watch videos and stuff on YouTube. But all the major platforms like that, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of that is for like a week just stopped. What would happen? How would people react? I think people go crazy. People would lose their damn mind, because so many people don't live in reality no more. Like, I legit think people would lose their mind if all those platforms stopped working for like a week, where you couldn't do nothing, you couldn't get on it, like you couldn't check it or nothing. Like, it was just like a big crash. It just shut down. And the only thing you could do is text, call, FaceTime. People would lose their mind. People would go crazy, because we don't live in reality no more, man. And it sucks. And I think we need to get back to living in reality. Like, straight up, man. But that's it for today, man. That's all I had, man. And I really like this idea that Papaya gave me, so I'm gonna try to keep it this way. That way I can touch on my points and just boom, 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 go down the line like that. So shout out to the homie Maya, man. I appreciate that, man. Keep hitting me with them questions, man. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. I appreciate it, man. If y'all like, comment, and share it, man. And subscribe as well, man. Let me keep them subscribers going up, man. I appreciate that, man. But that's the end of this episode, man. Life lessons, man. Hope I out.